Israel
You just
is an open
murdered
democracy
children
with
in
a leadership
Lebanon
that
last
you don't
week.
particularly like, and we
Doron,
do.
your military just killed 300 people in a single 10-minute span last week. You blew up children in strollers. You killed a 1-year-old at a funeral. You killed 300 people in Lebanon in one day last week.
Who made that battlefield,
You filled
Mehdi?
up the hospitals. You
Mehdi,
bombed
who laid
aid
out that
distribution
battlefield?
centers.
Who created that battlefield?
You did. You violated the ceasefire with Hezbollah 15,000 times. Yes, you violated the ceasefire.
Was there anyone over there?
15,000 times, according to the UN.
Hezbollah that was
Doron, I know
embedded
you don't
in
like
that
facts,
population?
right? But you haven't brought a single fact to this discussion.
Iran wasted people going in the streets and they killed them in cold blood. Israel
Why did you violate the
people of
ceasefire with
southern
Hezbollah?
Lebanon, please move out of the way so that we can actually kill Hezbollah. And
no.
Piers had on
then
just
why did you kill 300 people in 10 minutes?
This debate moment is breaking the internet right now. Mehdi Hasan walked into this conversation with facts so sharp that even Piers Morgan couldn't keep up. And Doron Spielman, he came prepared with talking points, but what happened next left everyone in the studio completely silent. Watch carefully, because the moment Mehdi drops this argument, everything changes. You will not believe how this ends. Don't click away, not even for a second.
Last summer, after the 12-day war, we were assured that the whole nuclear capability of Iran had been put back decades. It was done, flattened, it was over. 8 months later, a massive war was launched against Iran because it turned out that was all baloney. Now you're spewing, what many people will say is exactly the same rhetorical baloney again. But you're also conceding that if the enriched uranium remains in Iran, this war's a failure. And I don't see how you get it.
I said it isn't a failure because you'll set back a terror regime that operates with ballistic missiles, operates Hezbollah.
But the regime remains in place.
Hamas, you'll have taken, again...
The Supreme Leader's son is the new Ayatollah, right?
Piers.
Yeah?
Say this again, I'm sorry?
The Ayatollah, the Supreme Leader who was killed, his son is his replacement. The IRGC regime remains in place. There's been no protests from the people of Iran, and the Straits of Hormuz have become a massive weapon for the Iranians to use economically, as they also simultaneously attack all their Gulf state neighbors. So the idea that my point is the idea that at the end of this, Iran keeps its enriched uranium, you would have to admit, in that eventuality, the war's a failure.
No, because a war, Piers, it's very rare that you get a victory, what's called, unconditional surrender of any enemy. I don't think it's happened since World War II. What you get in wars are cumulative gains. Again, this is not fast food. It's like a McDonald's drive-through. The woman says, what do you want? You say, I want, the end of the Iranian regime. This is a process that began a number of months ago with the 12-day war. And what Israeli intelligence and U.S. intelligence saw is as soon as that war ended, Iran went right back to building a nuclear program, developing the nuclear sites, digging for the uranium that was there. They refurbished their ballistic missile sites and were expanding it from 2,500 to 7,000. And like you said, that now that we see Ali Khamenei has been killed, what do we see happen? They have not reformed. They put in another member of the exact same family, meaning this regime is evil and has to
have done this.
Now.
Hold on, Piers, can I actually say
Mehdi respond
to stop them, Piers. It's the idea of good standing against
Mehdi's
evil.
Response, please.
Stop right here. Did you just hear that? Mehdi just dismantled the entire argument in under 2 minutes using nothing but facts and dates. He is not shouting. He is not losing his temper. He is simply asking who actually broke the deal, and nobody in that room has an answer. This is the kind of moment that gets clipped and shared millions of times because the truth is sitting right there on the table and nobody wants to pick it up. Keep watching because it is about to get even more intense.
So what both of you are missing, to an extent, is it's not really about what uranium is left in the country. It's about intent. You have left, the Israelis and the American government have left the Iranian government, not just in place. There hasn't been the regime change that Netanyahu lied to Trump and said would be easy in that situation from meeting. They've not just left the Iranian regime in place, but they've left the Iranian government with the clear intent to want to have to defend itself, to use Doron and the Israelis' favorite phrase, their right to self-defense. If you were in the Iranian government today, would you not want to get nuclear weapons? Would you not think I've been attacked 2 years running by people I was in the middle of negotiations with? Every time I'm in a negotiation with them, they kill our negotiators, they kill our top foreign diplomats, they threaten threaten to kill more of us. Every time we're doing a deal, whether it's in Geneva or Vienna or Oman, they attack us, which is what the Israelis did last year. Why would you not want to get nuclear weapons? Why would you not look at North Korea and say, no one dares touch North Korea because they have nukes? Why would you not listen to Doron speaking on Piers Morgan saying, well, we didn't sign the NPT, so we don't have any obligations not to have nukes? Why wouldn't Iran say, well, we're going to pull out of the NPT, we're going to do what North Korea did, and we're going to do it because the world saw us get illegally attacked 2 years running? Doron asked me, do I want Iran to have nuclear weapons? No, I'm anti-nuclear weapons. I'm not like you. I don't support nukes and have a secret nuclear weapons program. I supported the JCPOA, which in the very first paragraph, Iran affirmed never to build nuclear weapons, which said that Iran could only enrich to 3.67%, which got rid of a lot of their highly enriched uranium. You, the Israeli government, Netanyahu, stopped the JCPOA, wrecked the JCPOA. You helped Iran enrich to 20 and then 60. You brought us to this situation, the Israeli government and the Donald Trump administration. So don't lecture the rest of us about nukes when you have nukes and you've now incentivized Iran to get nukes. Every year in the UN General Assembly, Piers, there is a resolution. Let me just finish my point, Doron. You and Piers spoke for a very long time. Let me finish my point. You said you don't like interruptions. I'll finish in a moment. The UN General Assembly votes every year to have a weapons of mass destruction free zone in the Middle East. Iran votes for that resolution. Everyone in the world votes for that resolution. 2 countries don't vote for that resolution. That is the US and Israel, because Israel wants to be the only power. Well, Iran doesn't have nukes, and you do.
You are so naive, Mehdi. It's unbelievable. I'm listening to you.
You can't even tell. You can't even tell. Doron, you can't even tell the viewers today whether Israel has nukes.
Iran.
You can't even say one statement.
Mehdi, you're defending
Doron, why should anyone believe anything you say?
You don't have a hidden nuclear program.
No, I'm not actually.
The hidden nuclear program is Iran. It's Ali Khamenei. That's your leader.
No, the US disagree with you. And the IAEA.
I mean,
there's no evidence.
Which one are you? Because you're defending. You sound like Mehdi Hasan. We're a nice program. We vote against nuclear weapons.
Of course.
We just want
go for racist insults.
In 2014,
that's all you have left.
We already had 20% enriched uranium. I mean, who are you speaking
Doron,
as an American citizen?
And yet,
as a British citizen?
Hold on. You're going back to 2014, Doron?
2014.
Who are you speaking as? You're speaking as the Israeli military.
And it was reported before the JCPOA.
And exactly. When did the JCPOA get signed, Doron? Do you know what year?
2015.
Do you know what year the JCPOA was signed?
2015.
Exactly, the year later. So why are you going back to 2014? It was resolved in 2015.
And they never had to
then you
the
and Trump came along and wrecked it. No, the Trump administration vouched and said Iran was complying with the JCPOA. So when you keep saying, why do you trust Iran? Iran did what it had to do. According to the IAEA,
let's unpack the JCPOA first.
They followed the deal. No.
Mehdi, tell us the conditions of the JCPOA.
I'm going to tell you what happened under the JCPOA.
No, tell me about what does the JCPOA say? You know, tell us all the truth.
I do know, and I'm telling you now. The JCPOA allowed Iran to enrich at 3.67%. When did they start enriching to 20%? When you and your friends in the Israeli government and Donald Trump tore up the JCPOA. Jim Mattis, a general in the American military, who was defense secretary, not under the JCPOA. No, they did not. As every IAEA inspector vouched for.
What do you think happened to that 20%?
By the way, Doron, what enriched uranium does Israel have? Because the IAEA aren't allowed into Israel. So why don't you tell us? You say we're naive. Everyone watching knows
you're comparing
about
Israel
your own country's
with Iran,
nuclear weapons.
Which is
yes, I am. I'm comparing
insane,
the country that has attacked
which is
6 countries.
Insane. Israel's not closing the Straits of Hormuz.
Why? You're worse.
International shipping.
You're morally worse
Israel's
than Iran.
Not funding proxies
You're morally
worse
worse than Iran. You bombed
Israel
6
doesn't
countries.
target Marines.
You bombed 6 countries.
Israel does not target Marines
6 countries last year.
Hezbollah or Hamas.
You bombed
or
6
kill its
countries.
own people in the streets, even though you think it does.
Now pay very close attention to what happens next, because this is the exact moment where the entire debate shifts. One man keeps throwing out accusations, the other keeps bringing receipts, and Piers Morgan is sitting right in the middle watching it all fall apart in real time. What Mehdi is about to say stopped the whole studio dead. Even if you think you know how this ends, you don't. Watch.
Israel
you just murdered children in Lebanon last week. Doron, your military just killed 300 people in a single 10-minute span last week. You blew up children in strollers. You killed a 1-year-old at a funeral. You killed 300 people in Lebanon in one day last week.
That battlefield,
you filled
Mehdi?
up the hospitals. You bombed aid distribution centers.
Who created that battlefield?
You did. You violated the ceasefire with Hezbollah 15,000 times. Yes, you violated the ceasefire.
Was there anyone over there?
15,000 times, according to the UN.
Hezbollah that was
Doron, I know
embedded
you don't
in
like
that
facts,
population?
right? But you haven't brought a single fact to this discussion.
Iran wastes the people going in the streets and they kill them in cold blood. Israel
Why did you violate the
people
ceasefire
of southern
with Hezbollah?
Lebanon, please move out of the way so that we can actually kill Hezbollah. And
No.
Pierce had on
Then
just
why did
last
you kill
week,
300
Solomon
people in
Snoop.
10 minutes?
And there it is. That is why this clip is going viral. Because somewhere between the talking points and the political spin, a few simple questions got asked that nobody could answer. Not about opinions, not about feelings, just cold hard facts and numbers that are sitting in the public record for anyone to look up. This is what real debate looks like when one side comes prepared and the other runs out of road. One man came with dates, treaties, resolutions, and verified numbers. The other came with talking points that fell apart one by one in front of millions of people watching live. Ask yourself this: how many times have you watched a debate where someone is asked a direct question and simply cannot answer it? That is exactly what you just witnessed. And the silence speaks louder than any argument ever could. This is the kind of moment that history books talk about, not because of who won or who lost, but because of what it reveals about the world we are living in right now and the conversations that powerful people do not want ordinary people to be having. If this video made you think, drop a comment below. I want to know which moment hit you the hardest. Was it the JCPOA breakdown, the 15,000 ceasefire violations, or that final unanswered question? And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now, because we are clipping the moments the mainstream media hopes you never see. And we are just getting started.